and welcome to KJ's Kitchen. I'm KJ, a 13-year master fitness trainer, a fitness nutrition specialist, and most importantly, a happy mom serving up healthy meals from my kitchen to yours. And I'm still in my mom's kitchen here in Michigan. This will be our last week here. Hope you've enjoyed it while I've been here out in the country. And today, I want to share with you one of the easiest, quickest soups you could ever get to your family. Now I know it's summer and sometimes soup doesn't sound like you'd want to eat it in summer. Well, I'm not doing a gazpacho here. This is going to be a hot soup. But I would like to just bring forward that it's a light soup with a lot of flavor. So if you suffer from anything colon health-wise, maybe irritable bowel, anything like that, you really should be cooking your vegetables. So when you're eating soups, it's just going to be easier to digest. And today, I am actually going to be talking and serving up lentils, lentil soup. If you're not familiar with lentils, they give so much protein. You're talking plant-based protein. They're heartier flavor. So even though this is going to be completely vegetarian and with the option of vegan, it is going to pack in so much flavor and protein to you. 1/2 cup dry is about 16 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber. So not only is that helpful to keep things moving, it's also to help stabilize blood sugar, keep you satiated longer. So I'm gonna start off, when you do soups, this is why it's so quick and easy, and I'm telling you, it works. You can take your time to pour in your olive oil and saute up your onions and your veggies. You can do that. I'm not gonna tell you not to. I'm gonna tell you I'm one for ease and convenience. I'm dumping it all in and putting it on the pot. I'm gonna put that pot on the stove, and that's why it's the quickest, easiest thing ever. I'm actually just gonna start with the lentils. Rinse them, pick through them, make sure there's no weird looking things that don't look like lentils. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump those in. And that is absolutely 1 pound. So they come in little bags. This one came from Walmart because that's where we shop out here in Southern Michigan. And this 1 pound bag of lentils, it's the whole thing. Rinse it, sift and sort. And when it comes to your veggies, carrots, we go organic. All I had in the fridge was baby carrots. So I'm chopping baby carrots instead of the big ones. I would say it's about 1.5 cups maybe. I'm not one to sit and measure. I did cut them nice and small and really thin and fine. The carrot's hard to cook through, so don't make big old chunks. You'll be cooking it forever. These lentils cook up quickly. So I like to finely cut all the other ingredients so that it cooks just as quickly. Got myself an onion, whether it's 1 small sweet onion or this one's 1/2 of a large sweet onion. Again, it looks like about 1.5 cups. I'm not one to measure, so when I do post the recipe, I will try to make it a little better at measurements. And then celery. A little less celery than the carrot and onion. That's the way I roll. I think celery packs in the punch. So I'm dropping it all in. Again, if you want to take that extra step and saute the veggies beforehand, by all means. If you're anything like me, we're gonna get it done and get it on the pot, go play with our kids, and it's done in about 30 to 40 minutes. Isn't that easy? So when I said it was vegetarian, that's because I'm opting to use chicken broth. We do organic, cage-free when it's an option. I do know out in Asheville, I have a lot of options that say cage-free organic. You are gonna want 2 of these quarts. I think they're quarts. It's a 32-ounce Tetra Pak. You're gonna want 2. You can choose 2 veggies and make it completely vegan, or you can do 2 chicken broths to make it that much more hearty. And me, I do 1 of each. So that's how I'm gonna teach you how I do it, right? And just pouring it in. Did I tell you how quick and easy this is? That's the way this mom likes to roll. Quick and easy peasy. Here we go, they're empty. Thank you much. Recycle, always recycle. Now we're gonna add in, this is a 10-ounce can, again, we like organic, of diced tomatoes. Not crushed, not tomato sauce, diced tomatoes. There's a little bit of sauce going on in there. We just want the tomato in there. It's gonna give it a nice zest to the broth. That's it. We're gonna add a little bit of seasoning, and here's why it starts to get super savory. You're never gonna miss the meat in this vegetarian soup because we're using one of my favorite things, and that is cumin. I love it. I think it just brings heartiness to any dish. If you're not one to like cumin, don't worry, it's a half teaspoon. Not enough to pack in the punch. It's not gonna taste Mexican. I think that I really relate cumin with a lot of Mexican food. It's a half teaspoon. Just going to subtly give it that rich warmth, that meatiness. That's where I think the meatiness comes in. The lentils are meaty themselves, and then it is a half teaspoon of ground coriander. Coriander and cumin, they gotta be cousins, right? Coriander is the seed of cilantro, and again, even if you don't like cilantro, coriander is very different in both flavor, definitely texture, because it's a ground up seed, it's not a leaf. You could feel free to sprucing this up with some fresh herbs, and you know, 'tis the season in the summer of fresh herbs anyway. So if you did have some fresh cilantro and you like that, you can maybe top that when you're done and you're serving as well. That would be up to you. I am not one to avoid the goodness of food. So I am adding salt, and I'm adding a substantial amount of it because salt's gonna bring forward all the flavors, the vegetables, the broth, everything's gonna liven up. And this is a pretty big pot here. It's actually 2 teaspoons of salt. May sound like a lot. We're using sea salt, and so I do recommend a kosher salt or a sea salt. It's a thicker grain of salt, or the pink Himalayan sea salt that I always stand behind. That's gonna give you more minerals and nutrients. Definitely great for the kiddos to get that extra minerals in their body. That's it, guys. So the soup's ready. I mean, it's not ready to eat, it's ready to put on the stove. So this is kind of what it's looking like. Lots of floating vegetables, but after you've cooked this, those lentils are not gonna be sinking anymore. They're going to lift, they're going to thicken and fill out. I'm gonna put this on high, keep an eye on it, stirring occasionally until it sits and reaches a boil. The second it reaches a boil, we're gonna top it with a lid and let it simmer. Simmer this for about 30 to 45 minutes, depending, because you're gonna wanna make sure the celery and carrots are tender enough and that the lentils are fully cooked. They will lift and fill it out. If you want this to be a thicker broth base, like to me, the lentils does all the work for you. Once they split open, it gets creamy looking. It doesn't look red lentil anymore. It kind of changes colors, so watch out and get ready. But if you needed it any thicker or you thought you wanted a little bit more creamy, you just take a big scoop of this soup, put it into a little blender cup, you blend that and pour it back in, and you've got yourself an amazing thicker base. It's a little, looks creamy and tastes creamier, but you didn't have to add any cream whatsoever. So there you go. That was KJ's recipe of the day, vegetarian lentil soup. I did find this original recipe at Food Network because that was phenomenal source for me. Altered it just slightly. Really all it is more vegetables than called for because that's the way I like to pump that nutrition in. I'll be posting the recipe. Click in the links below to access that recipe, and please follow me if you're not already. Share this on your wall if you'd like to save the recipe and use it. Share it to a friend, tag a friend if you think this recipe would serve them and their family. Join me every Wednesday here on Facebook at 12 o'clock, live in KJ's Kitchen. Have a happy Wellness Wednesday. Let's see if I can't turn this guy off. Let's see.